Hello, and welcome to this tutorial about the per clip properties in AI. Per clip properties allow us to set various parameters for each individual clip on the roller queue. This allows us to tailor our clips to look exactly as we want them to before triggering them, as well as being able to create many visual looks just using a single clip. First, load up some media onto the roller queue. To open the per clip properties, simply right-click on a piece of media. This will bring up a larger preview window and display some properties either side of the clip. On the right-hand side, we have some basic properties, including brightness, contrast, and gain settings, as well as a color picker and RGBA dials. Under these, we have some sliders for controlling the clip's position and size along the X and Y axes. All these settings can be returned to the center by double-clicking on the slider. We also have options to crop the media from the left, right, top and bottom. The border opacity slider is for when a clip is zoomed out for changing the look of a border. Finally, here we have a button to reset all the above settings back to default. It is worth noting that all changes made to your clip using the per clip properties will not take effect until you re-trigger the clip on the roller queue. Now, if we move to the left-hand properties, we can see a number of different options. At the top, we have the name of the media file and its current location on the computer. We can click on the Open Folder button, which will open a window where your media is stored. And we can also view the media in an external player such as QuickTime by clicking the Open Externally button. On the roller queue, you can press Ctrl and F and you will see the actual file name the clip currently has. But sometimes this can be a bit lengthy. So we have a label box, which is where we can type in a file name that's suitable and press enter. This will give us a display name that will be seen on the roller queue. Next, we can assign Artnet ID channel numbers here. This number tells AI to listen for a particular Artnet channel number that can be used for triggering a clip. The playback speed of the media can also be changed using the slider here, and we can reset to the clip's original speed by clicking the reset button. The thumb frame box allows us to set a frame for display on the roller queue. The easiest way to set this is to slide the in-point marker along the media timeline until you find the frame you wish to use. You'll see the numbers change on the left-hand side. Simply remember the number of the frame you want, then type it into the thumb frame box. The play mode box refers to the current play mode. If you change the play modes underneath, you'll also see the number here change. Buddy Group allows you to link various clips to be played at the same time by triggering just one of the clips. For example, if we set 3 clips to play on different layers, then set the buddy group for each clip to be the same number, we can get all 3 to play in sync just by triggering the first clip. By default, the buddy group number is set to -1, which means it is turned off. Next, we can set a MIDI trigger note for a clip. With a MIDI controller connected to the system, we can set up a MIDI learn to trigger a clip by pressing Ctrl and M on the roller queue. The corresponding MIDI note number will appear here. Alternatively, you can manually set the MIDI note number here as well. We also have a timecode trigger box here, where we can tell AI to listen for a particular timecode reference to use as a trigger. By default, this is set to 24000000, which means it is off and not listening for a trigger. However, if you set this to any number under this, it will start to listen out for a timecode reference. The in and out frame refers to the clip's start and end points. This can be typed in or set by moving the in and out points on the clip's timeline slider. transition period and mode can also be set on a per clip basis. The transition period relates to the time it takes for a clip to fade in, with a setting of 0 being an instant fade and higher numbers producing a slower fade. This is set to -1 by default, and with this setting it uses the system-wide transition period, which is set in the system settings patch. Transition mode relates to the type of fade that will occur. By default, you get a straight fade between your media. However, you can set this to be additive, subtractive, etc. by choosing a different number. Fixture locks is where we can specify that a clip will only play on a specified fixture, regardless of the one that is selected. To set this onto the clip, you need to select the fixture you wish to lock to first, then Control and left click to lock it to the fixture. To clear the fixture lock selection, simply Shift Control and left click. The Playing on Layers box tells us which layer and fixture the currently selected clip is playing on, with L0 referring to layer 1 and L1 referring to layer 2. Trigger on layer is basically a layer lock, much like the fixture lock function earlier. If we set this number to, say, 1, then go and change the layer to number 4, and then try to trigger the clip onto this layer, we can see that the clip will only play back on layer 1. By default, this is set to -1, meaning that it is turned off. And finally, we have the Edit as Patch button. This allows us to open the clip up within the Salvation engine. We can alter our effects in here, as well as patching in new modules to affect the playback of the media. For example, we could add an LFO to control the clip's rotation, or a noise module to control the zoom. This gives us a great deal of flexibility in creating new content from existing clips. For more help and tutorials, please visit our website www.avalightsmedia.com.